My dear young people, thank you for being here today and for joining us for this rally in preparation for the World Youth Day. I'm glad to share a reflection with you here today as we all join the Holy Father and millions of young people throughout the world in preparation for the World Youth Day. As you know, this world event is taking place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, from July 23rd to the 28th. And Pope Francis is anxiously looking forward to be there with so many other young people to celebrate this event. Last year, when the symbols of the World Youth Day arrived in Brazil, the cross and the icon of the Blessed Mother, it went around the dioceses in Brazil in preparation for the World Youth Day, gathering thousands of young people coming together to celebrate their faith. And the theme of that journey throughout the country was called Bote Fé, meaning put faith in everything that you do. Put faith in your actions, put faith in your decisions, put faith in the way you live your life each day. And that is what the World Youth Day wants to accomplish with the millions of young people who will be participating in July. We live in a time that we face so many crises. We talk about the crisis of family. We talk about economic crisis. We talk about environmental crisis. We talk about educational crisis, moral and political crisis. But I believe the greatest crisis of all is a crisis of faith. Because if we have faith, if we put faith in everything that we do, we can resolve so many of the other crises. And therefore, the Holy Father declared this year, the year of faith, to remind us the importance of our faith in our lives, that we cannot live and be happy and be successful if we don't have or if we don't practice our faith. Even the Synod of Bishops last year focused on the importance of faith by calling the new evangelization for the transmission of the Christian faith. Thus, as St. Paul said, faith comes from what is heard, and what is heard comes from the words of Christ. We have a beautiful song that we sing often in church, and we sing, "We walk by faith, not by sight." So faith then guides our journey through this life. Recently, I heard a young lady who was a college student speak about her faith and how she became close to God and how her life was changed. And one of the things she said was, "The passion I feel about my faith is so real that it impacts every aspect of my life." We all live in a world that is very much influenced by a secularized society. A society that tells us that God is not important, that prayer is not important, that faith is not important, that church is not important. But we as followers of Christ, as believers, as Christians, as Catholics, we know better. And we know how important these things are for us. Faith and God and church and prayer. We all know that we would be really in a difficult world, that our lives would be terrible if we didn't have believers, if we didn't have people practicing their faith and following the teachings of Christ and guiding us to live a moral and correct life. And you, young people, you know that you are the hope of the church, that you are the future of the church. As Pope Francis said recently, the church has hope in our youth. Therefore, it celebrates the World Youth Day to bring together millions of young people to give Christ to them. And I would like to add also to bring them to Christ. And that is the purpose of the World Youth Day. As you know, or you might have heard, that this year the theme of the World Youth Day is Go and Make Disciples of All Nations. How wonderful it is for us to reflect on the importance of being disciples and followers of Christ. As you may remember, the first words that Jesus used for his disciples was come. That invitation that Jesus addressed to them, he's still addressing to each one of us here today. Come and follow me. Come and be my disciple. Come and be my instrument to the world. The second word that Jesus used for the apostles was go. Go and proclaim the gospel to all nations. Go and forgive. Go and heal. Go and cure. Go and announce the gospel. So we are not only called to follow Jesus, we are called also to go and witness to our faith. And we witness that not only by words, but also by our actions, by the way we conduct ourselves. And when the disciples heard that message of Jesus to go, they were empowered by the Holy Spirit. As we hear in the Acts of the Apostles, that you will receive the power of the Holy Spirit. And when that power comes upon you, you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, throughout Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. And that message found a welcoming heart in the apostles, who embraced it as their mission, as their call from Jesus. Now is our turn. The apostles did their share 2,000 years ago. Now is our turn, and to bring others to believe and to accept Jesus in our lives. I know you all know that we live in a tough world out there. There are countless difficulties and challenges and problems that we have to face each day. But knowing that we have Jesus with us, knowing that we have the Holy Spirit with us, knowing that we have our faith to guide us, to support us, to strengthen us, then the journey becomes a little easier. The difficulties and the challenges we face in life become a little more bearable. So my dear young people, never forget how important Jesus is in your life, how important faith is in your life. And don't forget to put your faith into practice each day. Like I opened by telling you how the symbols of the World Youth Day went around Brazil asking people to bote fé. Put faith in all that you do. So let your faith guide all your life, all that you do, all the aspects of your life. Let your faith have an impact in your life, and you will be happier, and you will be more fulfilled, and you will know you are on the right way to get to heaven, our final home. So may God bless each one of you here, and let us all continue praying for the success of the World Youth Day. Whether you are going to be there in Rio de Janeiro or here, let us join the Holy Father, Pope Francis, and the millions of young people to celebrate this important event in their lives and in the lives of the Church. God bless you all.